Yeah, down long and around.
Afternoon everyone, Yasa here and over
Hey
here,
everybody, it's Araenia from Being Human.
International Centre of Awareness.
Woohoo!
Da, 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 da. Another lovely day here in the Mamaku. We're in the township again today. Have a nice stroll. I'm going to have a chat to you about these patterns of these subconscious mind programs. They're an interesting kettle of fish. There's two main kinds, and they're waveforms. They work like a waveform, and the first one that when you learn how they work is that it starts off on a positive, where everything's tickety-boo and far out. This is good. Everything's going really well. Everything's positive. You think you're on a roll. Energy's growing, getting higher and higher. Then blow me down. Something comes along and pops your bubble. Murphy's, it's often known as Murphy's Law, Every time something's good's happening, something's going to come around and dump on it. Which way are we going? That way or that way?
Straight ahead.
Straight ahead. So, when you start reading mind programs, you read the rhythm. So that first one is everything's good, going really well, and then something comes along. And
but the bottom falls out of it.
Yep, the bottom falls out of it, the backside falls out of it.
Yep.
It's a downer. It's a downing energy, all right? Yes. You get accused of being wrong. You get accused, you get betrayal. You get all of these kinds of stuff. It's like, holy moly, where did that come from? And that brings your energy down. Now that's...
let's move across this cold in the shade.
Yeah, man. That's one, all right? And you'll recognise this because everyone has these things. It's a part of being human. It's part of our software. Now the second waveform, everything starts off in a negative.
Challenge.
It's like, oh, this is hard. Oh gosh, not this again. And it's a downer. The exact opposite of the other one. One goes up, this one goes down. So you'll know when you meet these people, because when they're throwing this pattern, they'll come at you with a negative. If you talk to them on the phone, they'll basically dump all their baggage on you.
Yeah. Oh, I've had such an awful day. Oh, I'm so sick. You'll never guess what's happened. My job's just whatever. And they always come at that first thing, the first greeting. It's like, boom, hit you right between the eyes with this negativity. It knocks you back a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
What they're looking for is for you to lift them up.
Yep.
They throw that at you so that you can pull them up out of their doldrums, their downs.
Downer. Yep.
And they're looking for you to give them the up, feel better about it, that kind of thing. Trying to work out our direction here. All right, we'll go this way. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the second pattern.
And what will happen is that they'll start off on a negative, or you will start off on a negative.
Yeah.
Got to keep an eye on that, because everything is just a reflection of what you're like or what we are like. They'll start off on a negative, and exactly what Araenia says, their subconscious mind starts off on a downer because they are programmed for someone to come along and lift their energy up, and that's the positive. Now if you listen to the cause and effect thing that I did a couple of days ago, this is when a person puts himself in a negative mind frame.
Or a negative cause.
Yep, negative cause. Sad, angry, self-pity, whatever, and they'll expect you to lift them. Now, if you never lift them, if you leave them down there, what will actually happen is that they'll walk away, because their subconscious goes, you stink. You're supposed to be lifting me up. You're supposed to be elevating me, making me feel good. I've put myself in a stink mindset.
Yeah.
And you're meant to be doing this.
When you're on the receiving end of that and you're the person that's trying to lift that person up, it is so exhausting. And you get to a point where you think, do I want anything to do with this person anymore? Because the only time they ever come to see me is when they need me to do something for them, or they want me to make them feel better about themselves. But it's hard work. It's really hard work doing that.
Yeah, and what's a hard case is that you'll meet people who go, I'm such a nice person, and I'm always happy, and I'm always, pretty rah-rah.
I'm a positive person, they say.
Yeah. Well, that's the hassle, you see, because if you're a positive person, your subconscious gets brownie points or cause and effect points for lifting people up. Would have started with your parents, either your mum or your dad, or perhaps a sibling and be a bit down on the chops. You go, oh, well, I'll come into this family and I'll be the light. I'll be the happy chappy or the lovely being. And for you, the subconscious reads it. If I'm going to be a happy person, I have to have negative people or people on a downer to lift up. Otherwise, I'm never going to get some happy attention.
But that's like your karmic purpose. If you're stuck in that karmic purpose where you being positive means that you need somebody to lift up, you have to search out those negative, those negative down matrix pattern people. There's a bit of a mouthful for you. I don't know what word to call them.
These patternings drive a good man to whatever. Yeah, so this is why happy people manifest needy people or wanting people or negative energy
This
around
is part
them.
of that empath journey that we hear so much about, I've been there, so I can speak from this angle, and I can say that. Yeah, I'll hold that.
There you go,
And I know
darling. Give it,
Yasa's been a bit there, but he's not got a lot of time for that. But no, I definitely have been through that empath stage where you put yourself out there so much for other people. You do pick up what's going on with them, and you do take it on. And that as well is really, really draining, exhausting. It's really hard work. Personally, what I've found, moving from that state of empathy into the soul-guided state of compassion is a lot easier on you and a lot better for the person you're working with. When you're in that empath stage, you've got to be so careful about absorbing that energy yourself, but you've also got to be really, really careful that you are not enabling people, keeping them locked in their patterning, so that the more you do for them, the less they're able to do for themselves. I'll take my glasses off, it's not quite so bright around here, I look like the Fly or something from one of those movies. Anyway, so just looking at that from that perspective of compassion, you can still be loving, you can still be caring, and you can help people, but you do it in a way of being able to make sure it's a win-win situation instead of just you constantly giving to someone else. So just an interesting thought around there about empathy and compassion, just the difference. I'm going to give to Yasa to talk a bit. I need to get my breath back.
Give it a stick there.
There's a bit of asthma sitting in my chest today, and it's a bit challenging to walk and talk. So I'll get my breath back and then I'll talk about my clearings.
Karmically, compassion's in the soul, in the Holy Spirit, and karmically, which is in the subconscious mind, you have sympathy and empathy. And those are the ones that we karmically get hooked into.
I see sympathy as sitting like in the conscious. That's kind of how I perceive it, that it's like a third dimensional manifestation, whereas empathy, you've gone that step higher into that fourth dimension, but compassion up there in the fifth. It's just for what it's worth, that's my perspective.
You're on a roll today, darling. Would you like to hang on to this?
No, I need to get my breath back a bit more before I do another talk.
Oh, goodness. So anyway, we've been doing my darling over there's been doing a few clearings on
A whole heap.
empathy. Oh, far out. Well, What's happening? Hey, in a couple of weeks, we've got our learning 101, learning how to clear your karma course, all right? And the first 2 nights, they're free, so, and they're really good because you'll get the basis of what clearing your programming is all about. You get the clearing steps, and it's the skeleton.
Hello.
Hey. This is our next door neighbour.
We're live on 2 metres.
2 metres.
See ya.
You never know who you're going to meet in the streets of Mamaku. So,
Yeah, do you want me to...
Yeah, could you please do that?
Yeah, okay. All right. And hi there, Kim, and hi, Nicolette. It's good to see you on today. So this lockdown's been interesting. Lots of stages of emotion and actions, feelings, how we're processing and dealing with it. And I'm like, for one, very keen to see some of it lift, so I've got a little bit more variety in my day and I can do some of what I want to. Really enjoyed being able to get down and get some work done that is a bit more scattered when we have been out and about a lot more. But one of the things that's hit me fair square in the face, just issues confronting me about myself and some of those deeper patterns that I've kind of looked at the surface of them, and really just a much deeper look at what's going on. So I've done bucket loads of clearings the last couple of days, and some of them, when I first wrote them up, were quite simple, just really that this is the good. In that first part, everything was going well, this is how I felt about myself, this is what happened in the second part, and all those parts that I needed to look at to be able to clear that. So, and I don't know how many of them I've done now. The more I do of them, the more expansive they're becoming, but you can do that too. At a basic level, you can do this. And like Yasa was saying, we've got our subconscious pattern clearing class 101 starting, I think it's in 8 days, Tuesday, the week after this, in New Zealand. And then we've got one coming up around about, I think, the 8th of June with North American timing, so that our friends over there can join in. We've got one fabulous guy that connects with us around about 2 or 3 a.m. Every week out of Minnesota. So, huge shout out to him and his dedication. But those two free classes that we've got, the first one basically takes you through kind of where this whole subconscious stuff comes from, what it is you're actually working with. So that's the first night. Second night, we take you straight into clearings, and we show you how that basic waveform pattern works. And once you've got that knowledge, you can pretty much just outline your ideal in the first part, write down your problems in the second part, and take it from there, and you can do a very basic clearing for yourself. Oops, here we go. And part of that course is that you'll get copies of the eternal clearing steps, so that you can have a go, and when these blessed things turn up in your life, you don't have to stay a slave to that karmic patterning. Even if it's not full on kind of clearing process, at least you can make a start. And I just got a message here from Karen. Karen's studied with Yasa many years ago, and I don't want to be too specific here because I don't want anybody to feel elderly, Yasa. Anyway, so it was in the days when Yasa was getting going with some of this material, and she studied with him. I know that she does clearings regularly, and she's manifested the most amazing things in her life, and just constantly using a very simple method that Yasa first started out with. Oops, hang on, Nicolette, I'll answer you in a minute. And she's getting phenomenal results. you know, from that basic level. So you can do that too, you know. You don't have to be a pro expert
What about the lady
to start on your own.
doing the first course and it's got those 2 contracts?
Oh, yeah. So one of the ladies who's just did our subconscious pattern clearing class, we've just done week 6 of that. So she did the 2 free nights and then has signed up for the 5 classes following that. She's cleared herself out of some kind of career and income limitations blocks and manifested 2 phenomenal contracts. One national, one international, for her work, just by doing these clearings. So absolutely amazing. So that's on our website, which we'll add to this afterwards, and you'll find it on our Facebook events as well. So right now, yeah, Karen, she's saying all those things that she's just been through are evening out.
Oh, cool.
That's great. I'm really glad to hear that, Karen. It sounded like a bit of a rocky time. Nicolette, that subconscious pattern class, that is on Tuesday next week.
Yeah.
Not tonight. So it's first 2 nights are free. Even if you've done them before, which I know you have, Nicolette, if you want to do them again, you're very welcome.
Well, if she wants to put
There's no limitation. Yeah. I'm going to give you back to Yasa because my asthma's kicking in and I'm running out of breath again.
We just went up
All right.
the hill.
We're back by the horses.
Hey, you guys. Come here. I don't know, you can see that. Can you see that? These are the horses that I put in my heart a couple of weeks ago. They never actually wanted to know anything about us. Bless its heart. G'day, mate. You're looking good. You're looking
This
good.
one's got his head stuck in the wrong thing. You're never going to get the grass.
Are you got your head stuck in there, or are you blinking?
No, he's trying to get the grass.
Scratch
but
your head
he's
out.
too high, eh?
How's that? Here you go. Dick, dick, dick. Dun, dun, dun.
You're going to get horse eyeballs on the camera. And here comes the other guy.
There you go. Good to see you. Have a goodie.
Anyway, so those classes are for anybody. If
Yeah.
you've got friends, family, whatever that you think could benefit from that, just send them along. You know,
Yeah.
they're welcome.
And we just
Totally
start from
Basics.
Start from the basics,
Teach you what you need to do, step by step.
and we'll send out the PDFs afterwards, and you'll start doing it.
Those first 2 nights, you're in a position to have a go at it yourself.
Yeah, and it's Bakshi.
Yeah, and you can totally contact us, you know, and we do. We get people all the time saying, you know, hey Araenia, hey Yasa, I just did a such and such clearing and I found this. What do you think that means? And we just say, oh, well, have you had a look at this? Have you had a look at that? Try, you know. And we get that all the time, don't we?
Yeah.
People always contacting us about things.
But when people are doing it themselves, they only need a little bit of a guidance.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, yep, got it, cheers. And they're away doing the bottom line to what we're doing,
Yeah.
is to teach people how to clear their own stuff
Yeah.
and master their own life.
You know, and people do come for a consultation now and then. They'll get to a pattern that they can't work out where it's coming
Yeah,
from.
it's a bit tricky.
And so they'll come and get a one-to-one, and that's great. And sometimes we'll do 1 or 2 one-to-ones, and then they're off.
Yeah.
Especially if they've done that subconscious pattern clearing 101. That's a phenomenal class. So yeah, just it's exceeded my expectations. The results that we're getting from the team on there, totally blowing me away. You know, I would never have thought that it would be.
That never stops, eh?
Yeah, it's just phenomenal.
Never stops. People say, you'd never believe what happened to me. And I go,
Yeah.
okay, what do you got?
And then we've got actually intermediate coming up, hey? So we're quite excited. We're writing the curriculum for the intermediate course for that first class. And that will roll on because they're keen to keep going.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so anyway,
Okay.
I'm
Well,
going to start heading for the hills. Well, we're in the hills. Huh. Looking forward to
Cool
seeing your
bananas.
team, Karen.
cool bananas, Karen. Good idea, man. We can get this planet clearing its doo-doo.
Yeah, and we can all move forward.
Underneath every pile of brown, there's a nugget of gold.
We just got to know where the washer
Yeah,
is
yeah,
to
yeah.
find to get it
Trouble
cleaned
is,
up.
we are programmed to walk around in our gumboots and sometimes high heels, round in the brown stuff.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Covered in it. All right, guys. See you
Fantastic.
tomorrow.
Great chat. Great chat.
Yeah, very cool. Bye, everyone.
Bye.